to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Oh no, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Amen. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You guys want to stand up and sing with me? I don't know if you guys know this song or not, but it's pretty easy. We're going to learn it. Blessing to the World. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. Now go ahead and claim that for yourself. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of Spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of Spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. Now let's send it out to everybody. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, you are the heart, you are the hands, I am the heart, I am the hands, we're a blessing to the world. You're a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. Yes, you are.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity of the Oaks Church and Spiritual Center. How are you this morning? Are you awake? Oh, good. I'm glad to see everybody. It is Reverend Stacy. I know I got a haircut. Don't mean to throw you off. It's different, but change is good, isn't it? Change is so good. This morning, we have our music team is on summer vacation. Actually, Sherry Hersey is traveling to Unity Village. I'll be traveling tomorrow for the Unity Worldwide Ministry Conference, and she's going to get officially licensed. So that'll be tomorrow. Yeah, so we have, aren't we so lucky here in Southern California? Because we can just, here's another professional musician. Here's another professional musician. So we have Donna Elaine Miller, who I've known forever. David Joyce, yes, on keyboard. And then our very own Tom Hollow. Hey. So thank you, everyone. So just take a moment to say hello to your neighbors. If you're new, say, hi, I'm new. My name is. There you go. Hello to everyone online as well. And, I thought today is our annual Ask the Minister. So there were some questions that were submitted, and I'm going to be answering those. It's a lot of fun. You guys have great questions. So I'm going to be answering those questions. And within that, I started thinking about when I grew up in my Unity church at Unity of North Hollywood and Burbank. It was a church that Charles and Cora Fillmore blessed. We'll get into the two of them in a little bit. And my minister, Reverend Sheila Banta, always started the service with this prayer from Charles Fillmore. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge thy presence and power, O blessed Spirit, in thine divine wisdom. Now erase my mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to thy perfect law. I just love that, being in the presence of pure being and immersed in that spirit of life, love, and wisdom. So let's turn with him for just a moment for our opening prayer. Take a breath. You've arrived. You got here. Now you can just relax and either close your eyes or just gaze at our candle for just a moment, but turn within to your heart space and just giving thanks for this moment. For this moment in which your soul said, I've got a divine appointment. And here you are, immersed in love, immersed in wisdom. For that is what supports and underlies all of the universe. And you, my friend, are part of that. So feeling the love and wisdom within you, even if it's just a small speck, a mustard seed, we know and plant the intention of it growing. The remembering of who you truly are. So we give thanks for this moment. We give thanks for a message heard that will uplift and change a life. For a song sung that will touch a heart. And for a hello, a welcome that will warm a soul. For everyone who's been a part of our service, we are so thankful. And so for this moment, we say, thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Again, welcome, everybody. It's going to be a wonderful Sunday. I'm so happy that you're here. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yes. Donna.
So Stacy's already got you ready for your meditation. So you can just close your eyes and keep going a little deeper if you like. Oh, Holy Spirit, here in the silence, come rest upon my heart. Move your love through me. Breathe heaven into me. Come rest upon my heart.
Hi, I'm Yvette, one of the prayer members at Unity of the Oaks. I will be available to pray with you after service. And now I have the honor of preparing us for our time of meditation by reading the daily word. The daily word is joy, from June 25th, 2023. The affirmation, I am blessed with indwelling joy. In John's Gospel, Jesus prays his disciples and all who receive their message will experience for themselves the joy he knows. I share in Jesus' joy as I remember I am a living expression of the divine, created in God's image and likeness, just as Jesus was. My ability to express love, life, wisdom, and all other qualities of God is limited only by my willingness to live from my spiritual nature. I am one with God and one in the allness of God with all people everywhere. The joy Jesus described remains with me no matter what is happening around me. I know wholeness in the midst of illness, abundance, amid the appearance of lack. Even sadness in the aftermath of love cannot overtake my joy. From John 15:11, I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. Again, the daily word is joy. The affirmation, I am blessed with indwelling joy.
Thank you. Okay, so let's settle in for our time of meditation. We can have some music too as we once again arrive. So join me in this time of meditation for just a few minutes of a timeout. Remember when you're a toddler, you get a timeout? This is your adult timeout to connect with who you truly are, a divine expression. So closing your eyes if you feel comfortable, and if not, that's okay. You can find a spot just in front of you to gaze upon, just lowering your gaze, or again, looking here at our Christ candle, reminding you of your own divinity, that divine light within you. As we take a breath, and as we exhale, we allow our shoulders to come down. We allow ourselves to relax just a bit more. And on our next inhale and exhale, we allow ourselves to adjust so that we're more comfortable than we were a moment ago. And now one more breath. And with this one, allowing the chair to fully support you, your legs heavy, your body relaxed, and now even more relaxed. As you shift your attention to your heart, and just asking and noticing what is. What is? What is there? Maybe there's joy. Maybe there's sadness. Maybe there's celebration. Maybe there's grief. Not one is good, not one is bad. So no judgment, but just noticing what is sitting on your heart this morning. And whatever is there, we just say it just is. It is what is in this moment. Taking a moment to honor what the heart is speaking to you. And noticing who is noticing. I like to call this the eyes behind the eyes. Who is the eyes behind the eyes? It's your higher self, your I am consciousness. It's that soul part of you that never changes but is pure love. Expressing and wanting to express more love and creativity into the world. So honoring that part of yourself that needs no fixing. That no matter what has happened before, no matter what actions or words, in this moment, you forgive that human part of yourself. And you return to the eyes behind the eyes, where there is pure love. It is this pure love that begins to breathe you. It is this pure love that begins to float, move through your body. And with this pure feeling of love, we then send out that vibration, that frequency of love into the room, into Thousand Oaks. We allow it to continue to spread through Western United States, through the United States, around the world. Blessing and uplifting and touching hearts and minds that may be hurting or in sadness. And then back to ourselves again. Visualizing yourself standing in front of you and bowing to that divine individual. You are good. You are very good. You do not need fixing. You are worthy. You are love. You are loved. All is well. In this moment, all is well. Be still and know. Be still and know all is well. You may not have the answers yet, and yet the answer is there. Be still and know. And so we give thanks for this time of remembering. We take a breath. We begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes. We become aware of the chair that has been supporting us. We feel our hands, our arms, our legs. Maybe move our heads from side to side. And slowly, when it is right for you, giving thanks one last time, taking a rejuvenating breath, and opening your eyes slowly and gently. And so it is. Amen.
God is where I stand. God is standing strong where I breathe. God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me where I sing. God is where I dance. Joy lifts my feet where I live. Beauty's flowing free in and out and through me. As me where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. Where I play, God is playing boldly in and out and through me. As me oh, where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance, wherever I go, where I move and pray and give and live. God is, life is, joy is, God is.
Makes me so happy to see Donna sing. I mean, joy is just coming out of you. Like, her passion and purpose is just like, well, on the bare feet and like, just like, she's like just mother goddess, right? And I'm like, I want to be Donna when I grow up. I was up here for a while with Birkenstocks, but I broke my toe. So I feel like that doesn't count. So I might have to start coming up here with no shoes. Awesome. Okay, well, today is a fun 4-year tradition. Ask the minister. It actually started 2019, believe it or not. I know, time has passed, everyone. Because we had a pandemic, and then those years don't count, like we've all forgotten what happened, right? So it feels like 1 or 2 years, but it's actually been quite a few. So it started as when I was a licensed Unity teacher. I started as Ask the Licensed Unity Teacher. And it was inspired by my fellow Unity minister, Reverend Ogan Holder, because he used to do a twice a year Ask the Minister at his church. So I had 6 questions that were submitted that we're going to tackle today. So should we just dive right in? Let's do it. So here's the first question. Each one will be on a slide for you. So the first question was, The first question was, Vanna's retiring, I hear. Okay, how to decide when the possibilities or options are overwhelming. So I'm taking this to mean I have a choice to make, but I'm overwhelmed with all of the options and I don't know what to do. So first I'm going to say, get out of your head. Because you're letting your thinking get you in circles, right? That's what we do, because we start thinking, well, I could do this, and then I can do this, and then I could, but what about this? But what about this? But what about this? And then we get ourselves in these circles of a loop that we can't get out of. And then I would say, okay, I'm talking from experience right now too, everyone, okay? Just so we're all clear. And then you feel overwhelmed, but you're not overwhelmed. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is what I've been working with a lot lately. I'm working with, I have the feeling, I am not the feeling. So I feel overwhelmed, but I am not overwhelmed. I'm not going to identify with, attach my whatever to it, right? What would I attach to that? I don't know. My fishing rod, my hook. Thank you. I'm not going to attach my hook to it and let it carry me away, right? So I'm going to acknowledge I feel overwhelmed. Can you see how it's a step back, right? Now I'm not getting myself in that circle of this is what I am. And then meditate. This is where our meditation practice comes in. So whether it's a guided meditation, which I've really been getting back into Insight Timer a lot lately, or you know what, there's so many meditations, including ours on YouTube. Got to plug that. But you can go in and if it's overwhelm or I need to make a decision, you can put in a keyword and you can get a guided meditation for anything. Or if it's a mindfulness meditation with breath, well, you keep coming back to your breath and your mind's going to wander and you're going to just put a word to it. Past, future, or maybe it's worry, concern. You're just going to notice. And then after the meditation, you can say, that's interesting. A lot of my concern was in the past or in the future. And then what do? Then we can journal. And a lot of times what's really great is if you journal with your non-dominant hand, because that gets you out of your thinking mind again, because we want to get out of that thinking loop, and journal with the opposite hand. A lot of times I've also gone on a walk, and before I start the walk, I'll start with this intention. Okay, I'm opening myself up to an answer. And I'm just going to know that I'm going to receive an answer, a sign, something during my walk. Now, that doesn't mean I'm looking now, right? No. Now I've released that intention, and I'm going for my walk, and I'm feeling the sun and the breeze, and I'm looking at the beautiful flowers, and I'm knowing I'm going to receive. Same thing with a dream. Right before bedtime, I can say, okay, I'm opening myself to an answer in my dream, whether it's an image, a word, but I know I'm going to wake up with some kind of answer for myself. Something else when I have a decision to make that I've done a lot of times, in fact, I just did it again this week, is try it on. I call it the try it on. And this is what you do, because you have usually two choices. So I say, for 24 hours, I'm going to try choice X. And for the next 24 hours, I'm going to try choice Y. Not like I'm going to go pay the $500 if that's what it is, right? But I'm going to act as if this is my choice. So for that first 24 hours, I'm going to act, yep, this is what I'm doing. This is what I embody that choice. And then the next 24 hours, I'm going to embody this choice. And I don't tell anyone necessarily, except for maybe a partner or a close friend. You know, okay, for today, this is going to be my choice. I'll tell you, everyone, I usually don't get to the second 24 hours. Why? Because that's where our feelings, again, are just little information systems for us. As we start to embody it and act as if that's our choice, we're going to get the information real quick. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Or, yeah, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep moving forward in that choice. So it's the try it on method. I highly recommend it. And then remember, in our metaphysics, we teach that you are Christ nature, divine nature. You're a divine idea. You have divine ideas. Our divine ideas, are prosperity. That's what prosperity is. It's those ideas that we get and receive. No choice is a bad choice. All choices are information. There are no mistakes. You can't do it wrong. If you start to go down that path and it doesn't feel right, that's great information. Then you change. You adjust course. I think I shared with you at the beginning of this year with our son Julian, and I can share this because he said I could share it, where he came and he was like, conflicted. What do I do? And it came down to he was afraid of making a wrong choice. You can't make a wrong choice. All choices are information. So you journal, you talk it out, you meditate on it, you act as if, but your heart knows. Your higher power knows. That eyes behind the eyes consciousness knows. So you go in and you ask it. You might not like the answer. So that's the other part of this. How do I know what to do? I'm going to go in meditation. Here's my answer. I don't like that answer. Let me keep working it, right? And so a lot of times we'll distract ourselves with feelings of overwhelm in order to avoid the answer we know we're getting. So stop and get quiet and move forward. Our fifth unity principle says, don't keep meditating and studying and asking and look. Get quiet and then move. You got to move. There's a period of time where the studying has to stop and you got to take action on it. Get quiet, know that you know, and move forward. You can't make a wrong decision. Okay. Are we all good with that one? Okay, moving on to number 2. Number 2, and the person who asked this isn't here today, but they can watch later. And I think it's a fantastic question. How do I shift my old belief and definition of God and prayer to my new unity understanding of prayer and God? Okay, so good. We're doing this with our prayer chaplains right now. Well, we've been doing it for a while. See, this word God, because in language, we all need a common word, right? So an apple, we could sit around and say that red, round fruit from a tree that's this big. It's a lot of words, right? So we just say apple. And with God, what happens is it throws us usually, I'm going to say all the time, but it usually throws us out to someone or something outside of ourselves. It usually, when we say that word God, it usually throws us out to a parent God, a Superman God who's going to come save me, a Santa Claus God, please give me this, right? That God that most of us grew up learning about. So I totally understand this, because even growing up in unity, it's the same thing. A lot of times, especially when you read some of those old Fillmore books, the languaging is old, because the Fillmores, remember, are working from their religion of their childhood. So a lot of times you have traditional words with a whole new message, with a whole new thought. I am it. And then they'll throw in God out here or something, right? But I am it. It is here. I am an expression of the allness. So Charles Fillmore also used, for the word God, he would use principle, with a capital P, divine mind, creative principle. Of course, he also wrote, we don't send prayers out there. Where would we send them? We don't send prayers out there. Where would we send them? So it's the language that limits us. There's so many words for God because God itself is so expansive. So for myself, what I've done is when I've just trained myself, whenever I see, read, hear the word God, for me, the word that embodies the God of my understanding is the word love. That may not resonate with you, but for me it's love. So whenever I read, see, hear God, I just replace it with love. Or I may replace it with allness, or allness of life, or life force, or infinite presence. Our prayer chaplain, Janie, just introduced me to a new one, eternal loving presence. Been using that more lately. So whenever I see, hear, read God, I just replace it with a word that matches my understanding of God. So I wanted to share, and there's a lot of words, it's small, I know, but our prayer chaplains just brainstormed all the different words that could embody this idea of God. So that's the next slide. I'm going to do my Vanna for you. I mean, it's small, I know, but can you see? The point is, look at all the different words we can use for God. Light, eternal loving presence, love, divine love, wisdom, divine wisdom, compassion, flow, I am, the infinite, divine nature, the silence, the no matter whatness, beloved creator, divine oneness, creative principle, energy, all that is, universe, universal life energy, divine mind, spirit, principle, infinite spirit, life. So you can take the one for you that matches your consciousness. A lot of times say, this is oneness language. It's oneness consciousness. There's a difference. It's not about just changing a language. It's about changing our consciousness. And so as we come to unity and we start becoming, wow, this old God of my childhood doesn't match anymore. Well, now I can use a new word that matches it and that resonates with me in my new consciousness. So let's try this on. I do have an example. Very small. So sorry. Good thing Vanna doesn't have to make slides. Let's see. Okay, so here's from the June 7th Daily Word. As I work to make good things happen, I trust the goodness of God will be revealed at the right time and in the right way. So now we can change that with our oneness consciousness. As I work to make good things happen, I trust my inner divine wisdom will reveal my good to me at the right time and in the right way. Do you feel the difference? Yeah, when you're claiming who you are. Here's from Romans. We know that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. We can change that to we know that all things work together for good because we are love, our purpose. Or we know that all things work together for good because divine order is at work. Now, what's divine order? That sounds like I'm throwing it out there again, right? I order up my life with my thoughts, strong emotions, and actions, claiming that I order up my life as a divine expression of the allness. So, great question. And I invite all of us to try this. I always say try it for at least a month, where you choose a word or a few words, because you might find one word works at one situation, one another, or no, that doesn't quite. So try them on for you. And just as a side note, a great side note, when you meet with our prayer chaplains, afterwards we have our prayer chaplain available for you to pray. Or if you're one of our members, you get monthly prayer either through a call or email or a text. And you can ask them, request the word that you would like them to use for God. So if you say, you know what, for me, God is wisdom or infinite presence, our prayer chaplains can do that for you, okay? Just want to make sure you know that. Okay, next one, number 3. Oh, this is so good. We're getting into juicy soap opera-y stuff here. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were married when? Who was Charles's second wife who also brought unity into being? Did anyone, who knew that Charles had a second wife? A couple of you did. I didn't realize Charles had a second wife until I started taking teenagers to Unity Village in my, early 40s. I grew up in Unity. I was like, what? How, it was like, you know, when the parents get remarried. How dare he? So Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, of course, are co-founders in Unity. They were married in Texas in 1876. Now, Myrtle had gone a couple of years earlier to become a teacher because, of course, her health wasn't great in Missouri, so she moved to Texas where the weather was warmer and became a teacher and was teaching there. And then they met in a reading poetry group. Isn't this fun? So there was a group of them that would sit around and recite poetry or a reading, and Charles loved how Myrtle recited poetry or did her readings. And he said to his friends, something inside of him was saying, there's your wife, Charles. Isn't that romantic? And so they started having these deep conversations, intellectual conversations together. They would go and they'd go on like excavations of, I guess in Texas there was some place you could excavate bones and shells and whatnot, but they would go and do these things together. Well, then Myrtle was going to move back to Missouri, and he asked her, would it be okay if I corresponded with you? Wow. I mean, dating in the 1800s. So she said, yes, you can correspond with me. So they kept corresponding, and then in 1881, they were married in Clinton, Missouri on March 29th, 1881. Now that night, they were on a train to Colorado. They moved to Colorado, Pueblo, Colorado, for the real estate business. And then they had two sons that were born there, Lowell Page Fillmore. Myrtle's maiden name is Page. So Lowell Page Fillmore in 1882. And then their second son, Waldo Rickert, in 1884, who went by Rickert or Rick. He's the one who designed the entire all of those beautiful buildings, Mediterranean buildings, and the fountains at Unity Village. Lowell also did a lot of poetry and writing for Unity. So then, a couple years later, real estate went bust in Colorado. It's 1884. They moved back to Kansas City, where real estate is booming. In 1920, skip ahead, they buy the land, which is Unity Farm, which turns into Unity Village. In 1925, the first house, the Arches, Rickard actually designed. Again, remember, for his mom. She said, it's my fairy house. She wrote to a friend, it's my fairy house. And Rickard built my ideal house without what, everybody? Without a kitchen. Best son ever. Because he knew she didn't actually like to cook. She didn't want to do it. So the second house for Grandma Fillmore had the kitchen, and that's where all the cooking got done. So also their third son was born, John Royal. He went by Royal. He was born in 1889. And then Myrtle dies in October of 1931. Now it gets juicy. December 1933, Charles marries Cora G. Dedrick. Now, she served him and Myrtle as their private secretary and had been the director of Silent Unity for a short time before that. I used to think, oh my gosh, he married the secretary? But guess what, I found this little bit, which I conveniently left out all these years before. And I was like, oh, I forgot I didn't see this little line here. She was actually hesitant to marry him because she didn't want to cause any problems in the family. But the family said, no, it's fine. It's okay. We accept you. They reassured her it was fine that she married him. And then they were married at Lowell Fillmore's house at Unity Village. She was actually an ordained minister. She was ordained in 1918. When they got married, he was 79. She was 57. What I want you to take away from that, though, is that you're never too old for love. And I don't know what it is about Charles, but the next day after getting married, they left for California on a speaking tour. And do you know the first place he spoke? The Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. Charles Fillmore spoke to 7,200 people. They had to turn people away. There wasn't enough room. They continued through California. They stopped at Unity of San Jose to help raise money there. They went to San Francisco, Unity of San Francisco. They then went back to Kansas City. But a few years later, Cora and Charles, they bought a house in the San Fernando Valley. And my friend Milena, that some of you know, did a little bit of research and tried to find it, and I think now it's an apartment building, like all things, right? But they would use that home here in the San Fernando Valley as their base for the winter months. So they would do their touring here in the winter months, and then in the summer they'd go to Kansas City where he would teach. So they were kind of back and forth on a tour from Kansas City, and his different tours. His last tour was in Florida, and they were staying at a little cottage house, and it had this big porch that they could sit on, and he just loved it. And by the end of the night, he had taken the measurements, made all the different directions, sent the plan to a builder in Lee Summit to have them already start on it. And they built this house on a piece of property that Cora owned that was right next to Unity Village, and that's actually where he and Cora spent the last 12 years of his life, was in this little cottage house. And they eventually had apartments put over the garage for young employees who weren't married and maybe couldn't afford, a house apartment for their own. So they had these little apartments built, but also because Charles loved having people around. He loved people to talk with and laugh with and pray with. So they had the little apartments built. He, of course, died at the age of 93, almost 94, in 1948. But here's the thing about Cora. Cora was a Unity author herself, but also Cora Fillmore is credited with compiling all of Charles's private papers that he used for his lectures, his personal notes, his letters, and she turned those into books for us. She also really helped start or grow the Unity archives. So all of our history and all of his works are because of Cora Fillmore. They did write a book together. They wrote the book Teach Us to Pray in 1941. It's actually our textbook for our prayer class. She always referred to him as Mr. Fillmore. She never wanted the spotlight. She only wanted to support her husband and his work. And she eventually died. Cora died in 1955. So it's an interesting story, isn't it? It's a fun story. Kind of like it. Very romantic. Okay. So for our next piece of history, more Unity history. So what is YOU? What is the connection to Unity's history? So I'm going to ask our new coordinator, Linz Florin, to come up, because Linz is the co-founder of the Youth of Unity Alumni Network. Linz started attending Unity of Tulsa, Oklahoma with his family at the age of 8. He moved to California, attended Unity of San Jose, and then Unity of Palo Alto, where he was active in that Youth of Unity. He served as a regional representative in the West Central region from 97 to 98. And then he was an international YOU president from 98 to 99. Guess what? Exactly 10 years after I served in that role. I realized that last night, Linz. So he's going to tell a little bit more about what is YOU, what's its history. They have a big goal that they're working on, and what is its connection and history with Unity. Come on up, Linz. Share with the people.
All right. Youth of Unity started, it was the youth group for Unity, and it started in about 1922, and the age range was about 12 to 25 back then. Youth hadn't coalesced into a teen kind of situation, but they, in 1936, they had the first conference at Unity Village of the youth group there, and over the years, it became, by the 50s and 60s, it became essentially just a teen group. So this is now, in our experience, it's the high school aged people. And coming up when we were in YOU, I mean, there was a couple decades where there were 500 people going to the summer events, and we have 7 different regions in Unity, and there were different regional events going on. So that's sort of what YOU is. But the connection to history is that the famous minister Eric Butterworth got his start. He was on the path to study music, and he went to the summer YOU conference, I believe 1938, and he changed the whole course of his life and decided to be a minister. And the dominoes from that are that Maya Angelou was in his church after he'd become a minister and did all of her great work after the time when she was influenced by him. He also influenced Oprah a lot, and so that we know that he had that his life was really transformed by Youth of Unity, and it changed all the people that he influenced. The one other thing, the peace song that we sing at the end of all of our services was first sung at a YOU conference. It was the conference in 1951, it was the first, they'd had a theme of world peace because of the Korean War, and they wanted to sing about peace, to create peace, and the youth brought it all home to the churches, and it eventually became canon, I would say.
Our ritual.
Yeah.
Our
became
one
a
ritual that we have in Unity.
And so,
wow.
the Youth of Unity program has been going on a long time, and where the Youth of Unity Alumni Network is working to kind of rebuild it. I mean, it was really impacted, obviously, by the pandemic and everything, and so I'm happy to talk. I can talk about this for hours. I'm not going to waste all of them here, but we're working really hard to kind of help create a virtual chapter so that youth who don't have connection to a church can still get connected to other spiritual youth together. So I can talk
But you
about
have a
that
big
forever.
goal. So what's the big goal?
The goal is to get 500 people to those events again. This year they're expecting 42. So we have a lot of work cut out for us, and we're working with people all around. We're working with Shad Groverland and everything. So the goal is to have 500 people by the 90th summer event, which is coming up in about 3 years. So 2026, trying to get the ramp up so that people, youth can experience each other in the spiritual way and in the big numbers that are truly transformative.
And so, Linz, one last thing, too. There wasn't, you know how you go to college and there's an alumni association, right? I know Michigan State and UCLA is always knocking at my email or door. But there wasn't an alumni association for YOU, for the Youth of Unity, and you started it.
Yeah, my friend Betsy and I started it about 10 years ago, and we were incredulous that there weren't a support system for all these youth. We think it's over 125,000 youth have gone through the program over time, and there wasn't a way to stay organized and connected. So we started with a Facebook group. We have about 2,200 people in that, and then we've built out an email list and to support, because it's such a loving, amazing environment, and then you graduate and it's like falling off a cliff. So we're trying to create the sort of cloud that can support the youth as they go into their lives.
Thank you, Linz. Isn't that awesome? And it really is because of YOU, Youth of Unity, that program, that I'm a minister today. Yeah. Because I went to our regional kids camp, and I said, I want to be like those teenagers. And I came back to my Sunday school teacher, and I said, I want to have a YOU at my church. And he said, let me look into it. And 2 weeks later, he said, hey, it's called YOU. We can start it. And so we started it, myself and Brian Gerber. And then it just took off, and I just knew by the time I was 16 that I wanted to be a Unity minister. But it's because of YOU. So powerful program that has a big part in our Unity history. So yay, and thank you, Linz, for that too. So next question. Oh, it's a good one. What is a miracle? Does the universe really change the rules once in a while and defy the laws of science, or do we just use the word miracle when something nice happens unexpectedly? This is a great question. Interestingly enough, it was not in any of my study guides, because sometimes I go back to my study guides to say, well, what's the official word on something? It wasn't in my certified spiritual educator guide. It wasn't in my licensed Unity teacher guide. It wasn't in my ministerial guide. No guide had any kind of definition of miracle, so I had to go searching it out. But we do have our revealing word, which has definitions put together by Charles Fillmore. And here's how he defines a miracle in that. He says, in reality, miracles are events that take place as the result of the operation of a higher known law. All true action is governed by law. Nothing just happens. All happenings are the result of cause and can be explained under the law of cause and effect. And then I saw this writing by Reverend Jim Lewis, who said that a miracle is just the action of principle through the consciousness of an individual or individuals, even if it's done without full awareness or consciousness of it. And he says, usually miracles are happening during a time of great need. In other words, so we're looking for it, but also we have great faith and believe in it. So it's that expectation and looking for it, the faith, the focus, the emotion, the awareness is all there. So do you remember when we did our E squared and one of the assignments was to look for a green car? And then that week you saw a lot of green cars? Or last week I mentioned, how Christopher Cross and his music with that houseboat trip. And then that week I heard Christopher Cross 3 times. So it's that same thing, that where we put our focus, we start to see it. So here's what Charles Fillmore writes. It's on a slide, because he kind of tells it how it is. Superstitious people believe in miracles. Rationalists, in their minds, see cause and effect and find the law. Every one of them, meaning miracles, can be explained on the basis of action of mind. It is the mind that moves the body, moves the emotions, and when you understand basic principle, you can solve all problems and demonstrate so-called miracles. He said, you demonstrate according to your understanding and the power you have over your thoughts and the thoughts that are universal. Therefore, we must cooperate with the great source of life intelligence. So in other words, everything begins in the existence of mind, divine intelligence, principle, that infinite intelligence. And then we place our focus not on things, but on ideas, and we develop faith and trust. He says, you put away your fears and your doubts, you declare the truth, and you will find it. So Emily Cady, who, of course, is one of our first Unity teachers and authors, she writes in Lessons in Truth that the working of miracles is no greater than the power to discern spirits. Now here she's saying spirits a little higher up. She's saying spirits meaning God expressing in different manifestations. God expressing in all of Godness. So if we rewrite that, what she's saying is the working of miracles is no greater than our ability to see life manifested and expressing everywhere. The working of miracles is no greater than our ability to see wisdom manifested and expressing everywhere. The working of miracles is no greater than our ability to see love manifested and expressing everywhere. It's pretty powerful. Goes back to where are we going to put our focus? We can see miracles every day if we so choose. Okay, last question. I love this. What should I do? That's pretty open. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be that which you want to be. Be that which you want to experience. And again, don't think so hard. I'm speaking to my own self too, right here. Don't think so hard. Rest. Rest is a spiritual practice. Again, we get ourselves really worked up. What should I do? Be still and know. Rest and know that that is a spiritual practice. And also, what should I do? Sometimes what we need to do is get spiritual support from a minister. Sometimes what we need to do is get emotional support from a therapist. Sometimes what we need to do is go to the doctor or a health professional for our physical health. Sometimes what we need to do is take the medicine. But get still, be still and know, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. Eckhart Tolle, the author, writes, beauty arises in the stillness of your presence. Beauty arises in the stillness of your presence. In other words, put down your thoughts, Put down your worries, put down your overthinking, put down your problems, put it all down and be totally present and listen. Our intuition, which is our internal divine wisdom, which is connected to the allness, knows the answer. But see, again, we get wrapped up in what is the right answer or making sure we don't make the mistake. There are no mistakes, and you have the knowing within you. Get quiet, listen, and trust. Because it's with the faith in your own divine nature that you will know the miracle that you are. It is in the faith in your own divine nature that you'll know the expression of God goodness that you are. Yes? Mm-hmm. Be still and know. So thank you, everyone, for playing along once again with Ask the Minister. Have a fantastic week. Blessings.
From the highest of heights to the depths of the sea, all creation revealing your majesty. From the colors of fall to the fragrance of spring, every creature unique in the song that it sings, all exclaiming, indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky, and you know them by name. You are amazing, God. All powerful, untamable, awestruck we fall to our knees as we humbly proclaim, you are amazing, God. Who has told every lightning bolt where it should go, or seen heavenly storehouses laden with snow? Who imagined the sun and gave source to its light, yet conceals it to bring us the coolness of night? None can fathom, indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky, and you know them by name. You are amazing, God. All powerful, untamable, awestruck we fall to our knees as we humbly proclaim, you are amazing, God. You are amazing, God. Indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky, and you know them by name. You are amazing, God. All powerful, untamable, awestruck we fall to our knees as we humbly proclaim, you are amazing, God. Indescribable, uncontainable, you place the stars in the sky, and you know them by name. You are amazing, God. Incomparable, unchangeable. You know the depths of my heart, and you love me the same. You are amazing, God. You are amazing, God. You are amazing, God. Divine mind, all that is. Thank you.
Hello. I am Lucy, your board member of the day. And here is our mission statement. If you will please read it with me. Unity of the Oaks is a loving, accepting, and heart-centered spiritual community here to be love in action, to encourage personal growth, awaken spiritual curiosity, and transform lives. Wasn't it amazing today? I learned a lot of stuff. It was really good. We will be passing the offering baskets down the rows. If you given electronically, which I do, bless the basket with an energy offering, then pass it along and hand it to the row behind you to keep it going. We have an ambassador to help you. Beautiful ambassador. We have several ways for you to give. Number one, in the seat in front of you are envelopes for cash or check. Include your name if you'd like to record, to keep a record of your donation. You will also find cards with our texting information. Take this moment now to use your phone to give if that is your preferred method. For our online congregants, you can also go to UnityoftheOaks.org/give. No matter how you give, know that your gift is a way for you to financially partner with us so that we can continue to be a place of spiritual teachings and community in Thousand Oaks and beyond. Your gift allows us to continue to spread the unity message of positive, inclusive, practical Christianity, along with personal and spiritual growth, and so we may all experience more inner peace and joy in our lives. Now join me. It says, now join me now in taking a moment to focus your attention on your giving heart. Feel the abundance of receiving. Visualize the mission statement coming to life. Now please join me in the love offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love. I trust God. We are most grateful for all your contributions to our community as we grow it with lots of events and classes, which is what Sue Wan is going to tell you about now.
Thank you, Lucy. Hi, I'm Suwan, and I have 4 reminders for us today. Yay, there is no Women's Heart Talk this Tuesday. Reverend Stacy will be attending the Unity Worldwide Convention in Kansas City this week. Mark your calendars for some exciting July events. The Taizé service, July 7th, led by Reverend Sherry Hersey and Rick Cowling. July 15th, Youth and Family Ministry Movie Night Under the Stars in Reverend Stacy's backyard. All ages, all families, and all individuals are welcome. And the book club is going to be July 23rd. Oh, that was a whole big paragraph. Okay. Be sure to go ahead to our website to sign up for these events so we will know you're coming. Looking further ahead, Suwan Weaver, that's me, will be facilitating a comedy and live performance class. You will be guided through processes to discover the funny things in your life, and you will learn techniques to refine your stories that will lead to a final performance on September 24th that you will share with a very supportive audience. Yes, that's true. It will be very fun, and you don't have to have any experience, and please come because it'll just be a blast. So I highly encourage everyone to come and join us in the fun. Okay. Perfect for anyone who wants to be more comfortable speaking in front of groups, because I was very shy at one time. And it starts August 13th, and we'll meet here at the church 1 to 3 p.m. for 7 weeks. Lastly, here is a note that we will be discontinuing our live stream during the summer starting next week. But you'll be able to watch the recorded service on YouTube starting at 1 p.m. each Sunday. You will need to sign up for events and classes you want to see happening here. You need to sign up. If any event or class has less than 5 signups, we cancel them. We have a laptop here for anyone needing assistance with signing up for any of our events. Or visit our website and social media during the week, or click a link in our weekly e-letter. So here are some thank yous with Reverend Stacy Macris Ros.
Thank you, Suwan. See, we went over last week, not unlike this week. And so we kind of skipped over the announcements. So then you got all the announcements this week, Suwan. Thank you. Yeah, we are going to, for the summer, discontinue the live stream, but you can still watch us. It will be recorded. It will actually be better quality. If you subscribe to our YouTube page, you will actually get a notice. It will say Unity of the Oaks. The service is now there. It will probably be there by 1 o'clock every Sunday, or you can go back through the week and watch the whole thing. It also gets already gets split into all little small pieces too. So if you're someone who wants to just do the meditation or just hear the message or just some music, it's all right there on our YouTube page, everyone. Okay, so very excited. Thank you. My thank you to Donna. Thank you for stepping in. Last week when I did the music of our lives, I mentioned the song Wonder for Julian's Welcome to the World, and it was Donna who sang that. So again, thank you, Donna, for being here and being part of my life. Also, thank you to David Joyce again. Thank you for stepping in. And Tom Hollow, yay, thank you. Yay. So next week we kick off our movies. Our Movies of Summer. Our Movies of Summer series, where we take a metaphysical look at movies. And so we will be starting, Reverend Sherry will start next week with Independence Day. It's okay if you haven't seen it, but you might want to rent it this week. And if not, she'll give you the background on it. But it's fun 4 weeks of the Movies of Summer. So enjoy that. We do have a new office administrator, Candace, office at UnityoftheOaks.org if you need anything during the week. We do have a prayer chaplain available for you. That's a vet. And we do have some delicious goodies and coffee right outside, down the hall outside, okay? They're all outside. Thank you for Betsy and Christine. They're telling me, tell them to go. Okay, you all go outside. Have the goodies and the coffee. Okay, so let's stand before we go get goodies and coffee and prayer, and we'll sing our prayer for protection and then say together, no, we're going to sing our peace song and then say our prayer for protection. Okay, here we go, everyone. Thank you. Happy Sunday.